All right, now we're going to move on to our next capsule. Squadron 42 monthly report for June 2024. We're going to look through this entirety of this this report, and I'm going to give you, I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to give you the very short summary of what I'm sure it's going to say. We're wrapping up. We're doing a lot of work on mission 1. We did a lot of work on mission 5 or mission 8. Because that's what it's been for the last 3 months. But let's take a look. AI features. Last month, AI features supported AI Social, wrapping up their tasks for the usable system. The usable system describes how NPCs interact with machinery and other objects in the world. For example, an NPC running a janitor behavior will need to interact with several usables, such as a locker to equip the uniform and cleaning equipment, like a mop and bucket. They will then need to move between spots and clean them, playing a mopping animation as they go. The usable system represents these different objects and has information about how NPCs use them, where they need to play animations to enter and exit the usable, and what custom logic to execute. These systems often work with complex setups designed to implement complicated interactions for NPCs, and in some cases, the player too. Sometimes a small change in one element of functionality can have a large knock-on effect on another use case. So are they just confirming janitor gameplay for Squadron 42? In addition, there are often specific situations that require specialized solutions. For example, usables often have complicated idle animations with specific pose requirements and should transition into an action or an exit animation at specific times. AI tech. June saw AI tech fix several bugs related to NPC using elevators. They also improved the functionality for usables, scooching them between different zones, such as transitioning between outside and inside elevator panels. On the ship AI side, improvements were added to point defense cannons that allow them to track and shoot missiles. They also made updates to allow NPCs to follow leaders in formation by utilizing a PID controller for matching leader speed and adjusting role based on the leader from NPC ship orientation. That was in the Star Citizen monthly report as well, so obviously it's for both, but the team also worked on destructible cover functionality. For each location, they had to determine whether destructible entities were part of the cover surface and register their destructible events. Based on those events, they can regenerate the cover surface or adjust the location's height should that be required. Bug fixing was also done for AI and usable systems. Animation. The animation team continued to work on the look and feel of Zero-G, including making it feel smoother and more exciting. They also worked on several player interaction animations, scenes for Chapter 1, and delivered final assets for several chapters. Improvements were done on clothing usage for players and NPCs too. The team are currently progressing with cover hit reactions, cover and stare usage, locomotion blending into usables, and more. Regarding the motion capture, a number of pickups were captured to smooth out various scenes. So there was a interview by the actress who plays Trejo in Squadron 42, who mentioned that she ran into Mark Hamill on a game she recently was working on. Didn't know who he was and embarrassed herself by admitting that she didn't know who Mark Hamill was. And there is only one game that both of them are working on, which is Squadron 42. And that was in a very recently interview. So I think this is a confirmation that they were doing motion capture pickups, probably with Mark Hamill in June. They also captured a few actions needed for one of the main life areas and made improvements to combat reloads. For facial animation, the team continued to burn down chapter work and polish the final face animations for several levels. Gameplay story. The gameplay story team continued a high production rate through June, adding extra audio and facial data to complete the last scene in one of the chapters. They progressed through feedback and polish tasks, which involved improving the head and look in at 5 different scenes, updating 2 start idles and a lighting fix and polishing characters' finger movements. Okay, it's really specific. They also delivered 4 new scenes, beginning with 2 characters walking down a staircase, around a corner, and through a bulkhead door. The second features 6 characters moving from a hangar to a brig via cargo elevator, while the third features 2 individuals asking the player for help. The final scene has 2 characters working together on a unique engineering project. Chapter 12 also received substantial updates. This involved adding a new idle between major parts of one scene, including new mocap to improve navigation across a damaged environment, and using new PCAP to overhaul the introduction of another section. So far, only one mention of Chapter 1, so good so far. A lot of other sort of things. Seems like they've moved beyond Chapter 1. Graphics and VFX programming. Last month, the stability and performance and memory usage of Vulkan continued to improve and is now much closer to being default choice for Squad 42 in the PU. The team have also been in contact with AMD, NVIDIA, and Intel to diagnose and fix various driver issues. Global Illumination team worked across a variety of areas. For example, they improved Radiance cache resolution, made stability improvements, and optimized various areas with Fidelity FX. They also provided rough specular support, improved motion in-depth complexity handling for screen space light cache, and updated the cascade light grid to allow for a greater range of global illumination. Gas cloud color processing volumes were added to allow the artist to vary appearance of large gas clouds as players traverse them. Support for fire hazards continued, which involved adding directionality to the generalized burn and dirt shader effects for entities. This allows localized burning, such as on one side of a door. Visual improvements were also added to creatures, such as the ability to spawn decals from GPU particles. Narrative. The narrative team is nearly finished with the first pass of all of the Galactopedia entries, and I've been taking a closer look at how the entities are triggered alongside overall player experience. On the text front, the team swept through the various objectives across each level to make sure they provide succinct and clear guidelines and accommodated any character limits. Playthroughs with other teams continued as more of the content captured at the end of last year was implemented. As the levels solidify, slight adjustments were made, which sometimes requires tweaks to the dialogue to accommodate, so scripts have been adjusted to reflect the updated flow. Narrative also worked alongside the audio team to add more ally and enemy voice packs. These are now going through testing and validation. Tech animation. The technical animation team continued to invest on a wide range of tasks, facilitating improvements across both projects. For example, work progressed on the Put On Takeoff initiative, which is close to completion. These animations will soon be integrated into the game and will significantly enhance the realism of character interactions to provide a more engaging player experience. Enhancements were also made to the character customizer, including the successful integration of new heads. This enhancement will offer players more variety in customization options, further enriching personalization. Our ongoing collaboration with SST and cinematics departments remains strong. The focus on ensuring the technical implementation of animations and scene content is of the highest quality, is unwavering. This synergy is crucial in maintaining the seamless integration of animations and ensuring top-tier visual experience for our audience. The achievements of technical animation team this past month are testament to the hard work and dedication. As we move forward, we are confident that we will continue to reach new heights and deliver exceptional content for our players. Technical animation team. VFX. The VFX team supported cinematics with major scenes across the campaign, finalizing particles, explosions, background weapon fire, and timing, and destruction simulations. They're currently working closely with other teams on improving environments, weapons, and vehicles to support the narrative and gameplay. All right. So, only one mention of Chapter 8, but it does seem like what the quick and dirty is they are at the detail stage. So a lot of what they're doing is looking at details of specific missions and seeing if they work right, tweaking things here and there. A lot of the usable systems is sort of like the detailed background characters, some scenes, which are probably more transitional scenes between various parts of a mission or optional parts of missions. But it looks like they're doing some more zero-G stuff, tightening up the locomotion and such. A lot of this is just, it's tightening. It's tuning work rather than final work. I'm going to go out on a limb here. They have not mentioned the word beta, but a lot of this stuff sounds like beta stuff. Like stuff you would do in a beta situation rather than in an alpha, or I guess they're done with alpha, but polished stage. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the first sort of indication that CIG is getting Squadron 42 to its wrap-up portion, where they're just sort of making the final adjustments here and there to make it function, play it, see what it's fun, see what parts need to be improved, that kind of thing. A lot less technical additions and a lot more quality of life improvements, if that makes sense. But I could also be mainlining hopium and copium straight out of the source. But let me know in the comments below what you think about any of this. And if you enjoyed this, we do this every week. We do office hours every week, and every month we read through these monthly reports and do other things as well. I'd love to have you join us on twitch.tv/theastropub, youtube.com/theastropublive. And if you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and hit the bell icon to be notified when it's released. Thank you again for watching, and like I always say, hope to see you someday in the black.